Have you ever played a horror game and thought to yourself, I want to play this in VR? No, me neither. But around a year ago, I uploaded a video where I made my first ever VR game. And let's just say, it kinda blew up. Like, 2 million views? 2 million views? Are you serious? But just when I thought it couldn't get any crazier, that's when all of the comments started flooding in. You should make a VR horror game. Imagine how insane a VR horror game would be. Make a VR horror game.
I want to watch you suffer.
What is wrong with you? So after reading all of your amazing comments, I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe it isn't such a bad idea after all. It would actually be interesting to see how it turns out, because I don't think anyone's ever made a game on Roblox like this before. So with that being said, I spent the next few days scripting, building, and designing the perfect horror experience. But before I'm able to start working on the game, I need to think of an idea, because right now, it's literally just an empty base plate. So, what is this game going to be about? Well, obviously I know it's going to be a horror game played in VR, but what about all of the other features? Like the environment, and the objectives, and the jump scares, and the story, and yeah, you get the point. I've got a lot of work to do. So after realising how big this project's going to be, I didn't want to waste any more time and began brainstorming some ideas. And a couple of hours later, I finally landed on what I thought was a perfect game concept. Basically, I wanted to take advantage of the fact that it can look around in real life, and build the gameplay around that. Like, make a monster that only moves when you're not looking at it. Like, imagine you're just walking around minding your own business, but then you turn around and realise that someone's been following you the entire time. Now that would be terrifying. But anyway, to actually put this plan into action, I needed something to test it on. So I grabbed a rig to act as a placeholder for the monster, and then got straight into scripting its behaviour, so it isn't just kinda awkwardly standing there. And once that script was in place, I jumped into the game to see if it actually worked, and, well... Oh, no, that's actually scary. So if I look at it, then nothing happens, and everything's fine. But the second I look away, then it takes one step closer, which means everything's working perfectly. Except it wasn't, because nothing actually happens when you get caught by the monster, and that's a big problem considering that this is a horror game. So, I added a jump scare. But, it didn't really turn out like I thought it would. And if I wanted this game to actually be scary, then I'm gonna have to learn how to make animations that don't look like he snapped every bone in his body. So, I think it's time to do some research. So after doing a quick search on Google, I found out that everyone's recommending this one plugin called Moon Animator. Now luckily a few years ago, I unknowingly downloaded it for free, before it suddenly cost $30 for a Roblox plugin? What? But anyway, when I opened it up, I was met with this animation timeline that looked like the inside of a spaceship or something. Like, what does any of this even mean? No, I'm just kidding. Using Moon Animator wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, and I'm actually getting the hang of it. So now that I've learnt the basics, I think it's time to give the jump scare animation an upgrade. Alright, so I've just finished animating the jump scare, so now when I get caught, then... Oh, whoa, that is terrifying. But you know what would make it even scarier? If the monster didn't look like a grey blob. Sorry, but I don't need you anymore.
Huh? No, wait, we can talk about this.
Oh, welp. So now that's out of the way with, I was left with one question. What should the monster look like? Well, whatever it was going to be, I had to make sure it fit the whole doesn't move when you look at it concept. And let's just say, that made things a lot harder. I couldn't think of anything that would behave like that in real life, so I thought maybe I would have to go for something that doesn't actually exist, like a made-up creature. Or maybe I could do the opposite and go for something more realistic, like a possessed statue or something. But as I kept going back and forth between the two options, I began to realise that maybe I didn't have to pick just one. Maybe I could combine the two ideas together to make something that looks normal at first, but is actually secretly terrifying. Anyway, once I realised that, the perfect idea suddenly came to mind. A scarecrow! So after locking in the scarecrow idea, I opened up Blender to make the model. But it's been a while since I last made anything in Blender, so I've kind of forgotten how to do anything. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from trying. Okay, this is where things start to get complicated, because how am I supposed to turn this thing into the scarecrow's head? Oh no, that looks so bad. This is not what I had in mind when I imagined a scarecrow, okay? Well, I think I've just ruined it. So you know what? I'm just gonna delete it and start over from scratch. So, after that failed attempt, I decided that making a model in Blender probably wasn't the best idea. So instead, I just took a rig from the toolbox and imported some clothing from the catalogue. Which might sound lazy, because did I make it? No. But does it look absolutely terrifying? Yeah. So I'm gonna stick with it. So now that the monster and jump scare are finally in place, the game has come together nicely. But at the same time, it's still missing one of the most important features yet. The map! So the first thing I had to figure out was what kind of environment the game should take place in. But luckily, it didn't take very long to come up with an idea, because, well, the answer was pretty obvious. A cornfield. But the only problem is, having a big open space to run around in would defeat the whole point of the game. So to fix that, I decided to take it up a level and turn it into a cornfield maze instead. Because what's scarier than not knowing what's around every corner, am I right? Ah! But anyway, the map was really starting to come together. Except, something about it just didn't feel creepy enough. So to fix that, I replaced the skybox, added some rain particles, and then messed with lighting to make the entire map feel darker. Oh, okay. This already feels way more intense than before. But the worst part is, I know the scarecrow's in here somewhere. I just don't know where yet. So I'm gonna try to find the exit before he catches up. It's not over here. Nope. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've looked everywhere but still haven't found the exit. So, I'm starting to get a bit bored. And that right there is when I realised that something was missing. Because up until now, your only objective was to find your way out of the maze without being killed. Which sounds fine on paper, but it starts to get a bit boring after a while. So that's when I knew I had to give the game an actual goal. But then came the hard part, because I had to decide what that goal should actually be. Well, whatever it was going to be, I knew it had to fit in with the rest of the gameplay naturally, so I started looking around the map to see if there's anything I could use as a starting point. And that is when it hit me. What if, instead of just finding the exit door straight away, you had to find and power 5 generators hidden across the map to open it? Now I know what you're thinking.
Gamermate, that's one of the most unoriginal ideas I've ever heard.
And you know what? You're right. I've seen hundreds of other games use that exact same objective. But at the same time, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. So to set up the generators, I began by making a model of one in Blender. But that turned out to be a bad idea, because apparently I didn't learn anything from the scarecrow incident. So after spending way too long trying to make it work, I finally gave up and just took a free model instead. But anyway, the generators are kind of pointless at the moment, because they don't actually do anything yet. So to fix that, I got to work on scripting the system that opens the exit door, and then once that was in place, I jumped into the game to see if it actually worked, and straight away I could tell that I was having way more fun than before, because now I actually know what I'm looking for, and have a reason to go deeper into the maze. But anyway, let's just ignore that for a second, because at this point, the game was almost complete. Like, we have the maze, the generators, the atmosphere. What else does it need? Well, I don't know if you've forgotten, but the whole point of this game was to be played in VR. And up until now, I haven't been doing that. So, that brings me to my biggest challenge yet, because I need to transform the entire game into a playable VR experience. So if you saw my previous video, then you would remember that the VR system was, complicated to say the least. And because I'm not exactly a scripting expert, I had no idea how to make it myself. So instead, I just used a free template. But this time, things are different. Because not only is the game simpler than last time, but I've also figured out an easier way to handle the VR. Basically, instead of making my own system from scratch or using a free template, I'm going to use Roblox's built-in VR feature to handle everything for me. And the best part is, all I need to do to get it to work is plug in my headset and hit play. Okay, here I am in my very own horror game. This is crazy, like even though I made the game, I'm still terrified. But luckily, I remember that the first generator's just around this corner, so I should probably begin by doing that. Okay, come on. Yes, okay, that's 1 out of 5 generators activated, which means I just gotta find the others now. But I don't actually know where I put them, so I guess I'm just gonna have to keep looking around until I find something. Oh, that's a scarecrow. When I said I wanted to find something, I didn't mean that. I should probably run before he catches up. But now the problem is, I don't even know where I am. Oh wait, I'm at the exit door. But unfortunately for me, it's not open yet because I still need to find the rest of the generators. But, if I remember correctly, then I think there's one nearby. Oh yeah, there it is. Alright, let's power this thing up so I can get out of here. Okay, come on, hurry up. Oh, okay, there we go. The exit door is open, now I just need to run for it. Look, there it is! I've actually done it! I can't believe it, I actually... Huh? Did you hear that? Ah! Ouch! Well, that hurt. But anyway, that's it for the game. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any suggestions for what you want to see next, then you can join my Discord server, or let me know in the comments down below. I also want to say sorry for not uploading for like an entire year, but hopefully that's going to change, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos in the future. But apart from all that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.